Hey, Internets. It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We are here talking about Daredevil episodes 11 and 12, Reunion, and One Last Shot. And right off the bat, rest in peace.
Oh, yes.
Ray. He almost made it. Oh man! I honestly, when I predicted Ray was going to get killed before the end of the season, I didn't think he was going to get literally to the last frame of episode 12. Well done, sir. And he made for a really good episode. I thought episode 12, it was starting to become like it was in danger. I'll say. Of retreading that kind of tired theme for Daredevil now, which is the you can't kill anyone because you're good, and he's like, I want to kill someone anyway. I mean, that's kind of every season has been a don't kill people.
Sure.
I want to kill people.
Right.
And we were back to that again, and then we kind of got to frame it through the lens of Ray for episode 12, and I thought that like a guy trying to do the right thing, I thought was a good switch on that. Okay. Plus, the fight scene in that was kind of cool because it was a the limitation of, I'm not Daredevil, I'm Matt Murdock. So you have to pretend you're leading me around as a blind guy while I save your life. That was kind of cool. I liked the obstacles that presented. So, well done. These are good episodes. This season is good. Yeah. It's a good season.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on 11 and 12 before I try to describe in brief detail what these episodes are?
Sure. Well, my overall thought was they really wanted you. The minor hope they gave you in the 12th episode, they wanted to get rid of it. So you would again go like brief. Oh, maybe we can. No,
they definitely had the trapdoor lever, and we're like, choop. Poof, Your hopes and dreams are dashed.
We tried it your way. Now I'm going back to my plan.
Right. You could have. I mean, it was a good ride. This 11 and 12, specifically 12, I guess, was more about the plan.
Yes.
But so it was worth watching. It was not a waste of time. But you could go snip, cut it out, and then just cut right to. All right, I'm going to go kill him then. Yeah. like you wouldn't necessarily miss out on the speed bump that was episode 12. But 11, Reunion, takes place mostly in the basement of the church. This is right after Bullseye, just as Daredevil, has killed the priest and a lot of folks. And it's right in the aftermath of that. So
Maggie comes back to the church and is like, oh no!
Sees Bullseye as Daredevil run out. Doesn't assume it's Daredevil, which I appreciate.
Well, I think he might have mentioned it in all this time.
Oh, that's true. Good point.
So it's been several episodes where Daredevil was running around killing people.
But you can imagine in another show where they've been like, oh, you killed those people. I don't know. Like
after that many episodes?
I know. I'm just saying it would have sucked. But anyway, she didn't do that. Yay! She knew right away it wasn't him.
She's like, no, he's been running around in his oldest suit.
She could have been like, oh my God. That knowledge of me being his mom turned him back over, and now he's killing people again. So there's a lockdown. Bullseye is spiraling out of control. His obsessive compulsive need to finish these killings, whatever.
And Karen has told her too, right? In this time period.
Karen has told her what? That
the FBI guy is Poindexter.
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll say yes. I mean, if nothing else, he says it in her. She's listening in. She's pretending to she being Maggie is I'll just bend to the. And of course, blabbermouth Bullseye. We have to get that guy I tried to kill. Okay. Kill Karen Page at all cost. So she knows. But so Bullseye is wants to. Basically, please, there's a pathological need to appease Kingpin at this point. That's his
only
his compass.
Tethered to reality or whatever.
And in order to do that, he's got to kill Karen Page, and he hasn't done it. And you could tell it's making him unbalanced. Basically, he already is, but he's lost any sense of composure.
I guess this actually occurs in the subsequent episode, right, where he overzealously. He's
that whole bit is interesting. I will get to that.
Well, it doesn't seem like they've, paid it off at all, or maybe that's supposed to get paid off in the final episode where Kingpin gets mad at him for acting on his own, I guess. It didn't bother her because she's decided to be a gun mall.
Vanessa.
Yeah, Vanessa's like, I'll be your partner in crime.
All right, so yes, we will talk about that because there's a couple interesting scenes there. One in the scene where Kingpin goes to get the painting, I thought was pretty interesting.
Yes.
It's not indicative of a major plot point, but it's really interesting.
It was important enough where they actually cast somebody in it.
Yeah. Oh, good point.
What was her name? The actress?
You now stumped me.
But
yes, recognizable. You looked that up while I'll continue talking here. So, there's a lockdown. Matt and Karen are hiding in the basement where they get to have a long talk.
Yes.
And they reveal, information to each other. They hide in a sarcophagus, which I'm like, where did the body go? That part of mine was like, I was looking around the basement, because it had a name on it. It wasn't like, oh, this is for somebody eventually. It was like, no, this was a named coffin, sarcophagus for somebody, and they're both in there.
Yeah.
And it looked like there's any, I don't know, they weren't lying on top of a skeleton. Anyway, whatever. They moved it out and hid.
And it wasn't suspicious at all that Maggie jumped right in front of
the
blood.
These guys are FBI agents, and they're like, well, whatever. I guess we won't look there.
Yeah, whoa, she's a nun, though.
She's a nun, so we're not looking past her.
Yep, no.
Why would a nun hide something?
Yep.
Ooh,
I feel good.
Yeah, what? Who?
Leslie Ann Warren. I in my head, it came to me, Leslie Ann Warren. I looked it up. Yep, Leslie Ann Warren. That's who it was.
All right, very good. So Karen mentions to Matt that she tells him that she killed Wesley.
Yep. And she revealed that Daredevil is Daredevil. Matt is Daredevil.
Right, through her non-poker face.
Yep, non-poker face.
Which Matt's like, yeah, he already knew. Matt says he
like
knows.
you.
Yeah, I know. He was me, basically.
Like, no,
he knows,
no.
Right? Didn't he already know? Oh, God. And they have the talk. That's where it starts to border into territory we've covered a few times already in this show, which is you can't kill someone.
Yes.
Even if they're trying to kill you and everyone you know.
Yes.
At this point, they've given Matt a lot of reasons to kill Fisk.
Oh, yeah. He should not have any faith in the justice system. So it's not like, just go to the cops. No.
Yeah. Can't just arrest.
Well, the cops, maybe. But,
that's a good point. The FBI versus the cops. Apparently, the cops are they hate Fisk enough that they can't be bought off.
It's like, oh.
Whereas the FBI is like, we're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
Money?
Yeah, just keep killing our FBI agents, because that's what happened.
Yeah, it did. Right, good point. They lost a whole bunch of agents to this guy as well. They're like, it's fine. I get it. He's pressuring them with, I'll kill your family unless you help me out. But none of them are, except for Nadeem, step up. But yeah, so they've given Matt all kinds of reasons to kill this guy. And it's not out of revenge. It's just out of self-defense. He's after me. He's after the people I love, my friends. I have a lot of reasons to do this. And so the show's almost like, he could just do it. And yet Karen is like, no, because I killed my brother.
Foggy's not with that plan either.
Correct. But in this point, Karen and Matt are talking.
Yes.
And she says, you know what? I killed my brother in this car accident. I was high and I was driving, and I've never gotten over it, essentially. Which it's a different, too. You have a car accident versus, snapping a guy's neck or something.
Oh, yeah. If she really wanted to sell it, she should have been like, I killed Wesley.
Right.
I emptied the gun, and I haven't been I've slept a lot really since then.
But she didn't. She did not. She had an obvious analog, which is Wesley, the guy working for Kingpin, was threatening her life, and she killed him out of self-defense, basically.
Yes.
And that's the exact, but she's like, no, back in the day, I was drunk driving with my brother, and he died in a car accident. And that's the moment that I can't forgive myself for. And
actually, it's I think I assumed when she shot Wesley, and when she did, she's like, "That's not the first time I've shot a gun."
Right.
That
we know
the
she shot the
previous
drug dealer boyfriend.
Yeah, in the shoulder though, because she was a good aim. So
certainly did not shoot him.
So it's not like, oh, I'm so guilty because I shot my brother when I was trying to shoot the drug dealer or anything. Her guilt is because somebody died. Her brother died because of her stupid actions. Yeah, not because of shooting.
Right. Good point. And also, I mean, she seems to have kind of gotten over the Wesley thing. I mean, like she deals with it. It's a secret shame, but there's a. It feels like what's really bothering her is this other thing.
And
from before.
It did bother her after the event. She was definitely not happy after the event.
Right. And I was trying to think up to, like, has Daredevil killed anybody in these 3 seasons? I mean, I guess they're trying to, because obviously in season 2 it was Punisher trying to, like, the only difference between you and me is I kill people and you don't.
You're a pussy.
You beat people to an inch of their lives, but don't do that last inch of killing.
Getting out that ruler.
But you pointed out a good piece of information from this, from episode 12, when Daredevil is, I'm Matt Murdock, I'm supposed to be blind, so I can't help Ray, even though he's being attacked. Matt is pointing out targets for Ray to shoot through the van at the assailants who are outside the van, right? And Ray successfully shoots 3 guys through this car, and you're like you were showing him where to shoot at people with a gun. Now, did they die? Maybe or maybe not, but they could easily have been killed.
Knees.
Like if Ray had shot one in the head, would that have then been that thing? Or nope, he's not Daredevil anymore.
Not me.
He's crossed the line into evil because whatever. But yeah, you're right. It's not me. I didn't shoot the gun. No. I just pointed it and said shoot there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He kingpinned it.
Heroes don't kill people. Guns in the hands of friends of heroes kill people.
As a complete side note, that had nothing to do with anything. I did find it amusing that one kill that Kingpin had in the episode where it's like, oh, well, he let him go. And he's like, here, give me your jacket. Get rid of the body.
So I think the reason for that scene was partially to show that Kingpin's a horrible guy.
Yes, he is a horrible guy.
But also, that's the pent-up rage from the scene you're talking about. Because that comes on the heels of he's driving home from not getting the painting. And so he just had to say, all right, you keep the painting that I really, really wanted. And because it's, to the scene's credit, to the show's credit, I wasn't sure that he wasn't going to kill her in that moment. True. Like, oh crap, is Kingpin about to just kill like a Holocaust survivor? Whoa! And he didn't. But I think that sense of like, I was just beaten by somebody, I think is what leads to this moment of, and I just had something else bad happen? That's over the line. I'll punch you to death. All right. I don't know. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, I was just thinking it was...
give me your jacket.
Basically...
Okay, what's going on?
Basically mad... I was taking it basically, I'm mad at the FBI because you couldn't handle that.
Right. I just felt like maybe there was this extra weight.
Maybe, but
because he desperately wants this painting, the painting that was from season 1.
He does, but I feel like his reason, he said that he feels Vanessa would not want it, should not be like, grr, I'm mad. So you mad at Vanessa because she wouldn't have,
Well, I just feel like he thought, because there's a woman who's got the painting.
The thing that I felt was gonna like set him off with her all, I know the kind of person you are. I know, like, you're like the Nazis.
You could just say, I'd like to keep the painting now and not do the antagonized guy who might, pummel your face. But, whatever. She's standing up to evil.
Yeah.
And she dies for it. But eventually.
But not that evil.
Not that evening. But yeah, so he goes to get this painting.
Maybe she's like, would it be okay if I gave him to him if I put some of your blood on it?
Yeah.
She's like, oh.
That's a good point. She probably isn't dead. She's like, hey, let me sign it.
I have a flask of it right now. You don't have to take it from my body. Okay, just put it on the side. Take it over to Kingpin.
That way we'll always remember that it was... No, so Kingpin, Vanessa's coming back. Kingpin has been declared free, by the way, which is a little weird, but okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Done, and we're free. So he's free. He's bringing Vanessa back to live with him in this penthouse that he set up. Yeah, but he doesn't have the perfect picture.
Obviously, because Daredevil's running around killing people, so clearly that means Kingpin is innocent.
Right. So he goes to this house, and his expectation is, I'm going to go in here and intimidate this woman into giving me this painting. He finds out, actually, this woman, it was originally her family's painting. Gestapo came, killed her dad, took the painting. She's got it back, and she ain't giving it up because it means so much to her, much like it would mean something to him. Sure. Because his kind of short-lived relationship with Vanessa, where most of it's been where she's overseas, but whatever. He's in love. This is an example, but so he lets it go, which that's an interesting choice because the show sets it up that is incredibly important to him, really, 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 almost obsessively important to him to get this painting, and the fact that he's willing to say, you know what, you're right. That you've got a better claim on it than I do. Vanessa would want you to keep it. Good day. Like I was like, that was an interesting choice for them to make. That he didn't just go walk out. I thought in the moment that he didn't kill her immediately, that he would just walk out of the house and go, just kill her and take the painting. But he doesn't. He's like, nope. She gets it.
Yep.
It's later that Bullseye, in an attempt to make amends for not killing Karen, he decides, I know what I'll do. I'll give him that thing he likes.
Yeah.
So, apparently unasked for, he goes to this woman's house, kills her, takes the painting, and brings it back. And we get the moment from Kingpin, like, well, I didn't think I was going to get this painting because really I made the determination that it should stay with this woman. But okay.
And he obviously that he saw the blood.
Yeah. Oh, he knows. Yeah. And it's an interesting scene. That kind of went nowhere, at least for now. Maybe it'll go somewhere in the next episode. The scene between the newly arrived Vanessa and Bullseye was interesting.
Yes.
I thought one thing at first, then after seeing a second scene, the scene where the Kingpin and Vanessa are talking about the painting, I kind of different idea. So my initial thought of seeing the scene where Vanessa is talking with Bullseye about the painting, I thought there was like a sexual thing going on there. She was flirting with him, it seemed like. She's like, oh, yes, Kingpin loves to present his beautiful things. And I know there was a little bit of sexual tension, I thought. But then later, in retrospect, it seemed like maybe it was more that she was worried that, because he says, just consider me the new Wesley.
Yes.
And then she asks about that to Kingpin later. So maybe the scene was more... She felt threatened that Bullseye might become more important to Kingpin than she is. That she saw it as a rival. But it was weird. It was a weird scene. Like I could imagine it spinning into suddenly like a love triangle or something. But it probably won't go that way. But
I don't think so.
But it felt like there was a weird flirtation going on there, or their dialogue there was subtext. I guess I couldn't tell what the subtext was.
I mean, I feel like the way that she mentioned him at the end, when she was basically taking part in their plans, was she sees his value. She's
like, is he dangerous? And he's like, yeah, he's dangerous.
Yeah, but she sees his value, and also in him sort of volunteering himself as someone like Wesley.
Okay.
Maybe I think that she just has like, okay, now
figuring out what his skill set
positive
is,
feelings towards you in the way that I would have for someone who supports the man that I love.
Okay.
So that's how I interpret it.
Because it would be interesting.
That'd be weird.
That particularly seems.
Because I feel like I've been fighting, who doesn't make it out of the final episode?
Oh, okay. Because we're up to episode 13. So the next time we talk, we're going to be talking about one episode only.
Yep.
And then, what we thought about the season as a whole, and probably we'll do little theories if there is going to be a season 4, what that might be. Yeah. But that's to come. Anyway. So far, we have not watched episode 13 yet. We do not know.
We don't know. I don't know.
Who dies.
We don't know.
I mean, does Kingpin die? I kind of feel like he doesn't, just because I don't think they like that villain, but they could kill him off.
They could.
It's just that if here's what's going to happen. Daredevil will not kill Kingpin.
Yes.
Kingpin might die. Bullseye might kill him.
Right.
But Daredevil will certainly not kill Kingpin.
I agree with that.
Yeah. All right. So, but your point being, you were saying that the relationship angle was weird between Vanessa and Bullseye. You're saying?
Yeah. Well, no. I'm just saying that if that were to play that out, that I think that would be too weird.
Gotcha.
That's all.
It was interesting though. So Vanessa shows up, and you can tell right away it's good acting because she's. It's not really in the words she's saying, but you can tell like,
yeah,
I'm not real happy with the situation.
Yeah,
and it's only later. Kingpin is trying to do so many nice things for her. He's just bending over backwards, and you keep expecting him at some point to break.
Yep.
Like, God damn it!
Well,
but he doesn't, and it's cool because it shows that part of him.
Well, I mean, it's funny. I see that's another example of good acting and writing in that first season when he first tries to establish himself with Vanessa. He's very meek, He's bold enough to ask for a date or whatever, but he doesn't assume that she will have feelings for him necessarily. And so, again, it's good that, we've never seen him angry at her, we have no sympathy at all for him. Yeah. We believe that he loves her and that he can be tender with her.
And he makes her an omelet, and he's like, yes. And he asks what's wrong. He has enough awareness to know that she's not happy, even though she's saying the right things. And so he checks in with her.
Yes.
What's going on? And she basically lays it out. Look, when I was overseas, surrounded by your guards, I'm isolated. I'm lonely. I'm basically like an object that you possess. All this stuff, the stuff you picked out, I'm just an object here. I'm not part of your life. And, not really, doesn't make me happy. I'd rather be a part of your life, which we find out is like, oh, okay, you want to be evil with me?
Yes.
All right, great.
Yeah.
And she's the one that basically makes the kill Ray Nadeem call that then Bullseye goes and kills Nadeem. But it would have been interesting. I mean, I'm fine with the way they've done it. It's cool. Because that also means that if there is a season 4, she's probably, if let's say Kingpin goes back to jail, she's maybe running things outside, and she actually becomes a kind of a legit part of this organization. But whatever. It would have been interesting because he's loving this woman from afar for so long. She's in Spain, he's over here. She suddenly realizes all the rigmarole that goes around being like a crime boss's love interest.
Yeah.
That maybe it would be interesting if she came back and was like, yeah, I don't really love him that much, but
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because where would it go? It's like typically what happens.
Eventually, he just killed her.
But typically, what happens in this situation is, I'm a person who's a criminal, but I meet somebody and don't present my criminality to them and fall in love. And typically what happens is, oh my God, you're a criminal. That's what always happens.
But like in the Godfather movies, they do that kind of well, where they're like, oh, I'm part of the relationship, but I'm also separated. But
right. So I feel like you don't get as often. It's not as much of a trope. It's like, no, I'll join you.
Good point. Yeah. So it's cool.
I felt like one of the things that was on his face was kind of like, is this what I want?
Right. That was the thing I was thinking is it's kind of a dumb move for him in a way. Like for instance, in the Nadeem moment, he has made the calculation it's okay to let Nadeem live.
Yes.
You know what? Nobody's going to believe him anyway.
Yep.
The indictment didn't work. He's fine.
Yes.
She changes his mind in the moment.
Yeah.
And the reason she changes his mind, I believe, is not, oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's more, oh, well, she said it. And I want her to feel involved. All right, yes, let's kill Ray. So if he starts acting on those impulses, I think for his own criminal enterprise, that could be a problem. And I think he would see it as a problem. I think he would eventually see like, I'm making choices that are not choices I would make.
I don't know. I don't know if he, if it's a different stratagems. I don't know that it's very interesting. I feel like it's more like, in a way, like, is that the type of relationship that he wanted?
Right.
But maybe who knows where they're going to go in the final episode.
Right. It's exactly because this is so close to the end of the season that we're not going to get a lot of that. The two of them working together as a criminal enterprise. But it's interesting where they might take that. I did note in the scene where Kingpin is freed and he's given his little speech.
Yes.
So the signage behind him is a presidential hotel, right? So it says "President" over the top of his head.
Yes.
And he's doing this big tirade about fake news.
Sure.
It was pretty much a. Yeah, I can't imagine who else might have said something like this recently in front of a large group of cameras. But yeah, it was a Anyway, not so veiled poke
Perhaps.
at a certain president.
Perhaps.
Anyway, so well done, good job.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Yeah. So Ray, I liked episode 12 in that Ray's trying to do the right thing.
Yes.
And there's a great moment where he's talking to his kid on the phone.
Yes.
Because the family is kind of in hiding. The wife is like,
yeah,
you suck. I never want to see you again, basically.
Yeah.
They're done, more or less. I mean, it's going to take a lot of repairing to put them back together. So he kind of, he realizes that his life has kind of gone, but he wants to kind of go do the right thing. So, talking to his son, he's like, look, son, you're going to hear a lot of bad things about your dad. It's not true. I'm trying to do the right thing here, and I don't really care what other people think about me. I just care what you think about me. And, Matt's off in the corner, eavesdropping.
Yes.
Jerk. Just let a guy talk to his son. Anyway, but he's listening to that conversation, and obviously, huge parallels to his own life.
Yes.
His dad tried to do the right thing, show, like, look, I'm not going to take money.
Nope.
I'm going to be a good example to my son.
Sure.
And he died for it.
Yep.
And it's exactly what happens over here.
Sure.
Is that Ray tries to, wants to do the right thing, an example for his family, and he dies for it. So anyway, the parallels between that and Ray and Matt's dad, pretty similar. Anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
They wove that in nicely. Ray makes a choice after this indictment doesn't go through. We'll talk about that. Kind of weird, only on paper means. He decides, okay, well, the only way my family lives is if I die. And so he basically goes back to his house. He knows that there's cameras up there, and he's like, I'm here. And he looks at the pictures, goes into his backyard, drinks a beer, waits for Daredevil, or waits for Bullseye. Yeah. And Bullseye, it's nighttime.
Yes.
Like, he's been there all day. Yeah. Like, when he shows up, it's in the afternoon. And, like, it took him a while to get there. Part of me was thinking, where the hell's Daredevil in all this? Come on, get in there, find him. So he has this conversation with Bullseye in his backyard. Bullseye's like, let's come inside so I can shoot you. No, I'm going to stand right here. And, he gives one last plea. He doesn't expect Bullseye to, I think, follow him. He's like, hey, look, we could take him down together like old times. And then he forces Bullseye to shoot him by pulling the gun. So it's like, all right, fine. If you're going to try to draw me inside, then I'll pretend to shoot you.
Yeah.
And he shoots him into his new pool. I mean, it's not the pool, but it's the ditch that was going to be the new pool, which is what they were talking about in episode 1. And it was like, oh, it led him down a path. Damn you, pool. No, but the grand jury gets, scared off from indicting. And the way they did it was a little weird to me. So at least on the surface, what it seems like is Kingpin's men, probably that guy Manning, the English guy, went and got to the one juror and made him memorize the addresses of all the other jurors. And they're like, you read these addresses and you tell them, come back without an indictment. And so he did. And it scared off, because in a grand jury you got 20-ish, 23, 25 people, something like that. So it's not like a 11-person jury. I mean, there's a lot of people. And so I just feel like it was taking a huge chance, let's say that, for Kingpin to be like, I'll get one guy, he'll read some addresses off, and then no one will talk about it. They'll all just come back with a no, not guilty, and that'll work. I mean, I would think more likely would be at least one person in that group would say, hey, some guy threatened me in the jury room. He had my address, and he said bad things had happened to me if I came back. And, he would go they would tell, let's say, the DA. And then if one person did that, then you would overthrow the not guilty verdict. You come back. Anyway, it made sense in TV land. So we'll just leave it at that. It's just like that was leaving a lot to chance. I'll put it that way. If that was literally their plan, was not to go and get every single person on the jury, but just get one guy and then hope that guy can go, hey, they told me to do things. All right.
You're assuming it's one guy.
I am assuming it's one guy. Hey, but if you have to keep explaining stuff for the show, that's never a good thing. When you're like, well, wait, maybe off screen we saw there was a whole thing where they did a thing, but it's fine. It's a small point. They just wanted to move the plot along, and for that sake, cool. They did. So basically, there was a cool moment there where Foggy and Matt and Karen are all working together.
Yep.
Right? And they're like, look, it's like old times.
Yes.
We're going to use the law, which I also appreciate because, let's face it, the
They're
story of
lawyers.
Daredevil is about a lawyer who by night kind of does vigilante,
Yes.
non-law abiding stuff.
Sure.
And that duality is interesting.
Yeah.
And like this season, we really haven't touched on that.
No,
at
not
all.
really.
Very, very little. I mean, a little bit in the beginning maybe, but not from Matt specifically.
No.
So here Matt is getting to be a lawyer again, which is a big part of his identity.
Yes.
And so that was cool. And they're like, yeah, we're going to use the law to take him down. Here's what we're going to do. And they try it, and it all looks like it's going great, like you said, and then they just yank it out. And so now we end with Matt's like, screw you. That way it didn't work. I'm gonna go kill Kingpin, and we'll end it this way.
Yes.
Also, interestingly, the end of episode 11 was cool in that Ray gets attacked at his home.
Yes.
By a whole bunch of
Yes.
FBI guys, I
Yes.
guess. I don't know what they were, but it seemed like it. Anyway, so he shoots a bunch of guys.
Yep.
Daredevil shows up, takes down a bunch of guys, and to save the family. And then there's a big reveal where Matt's like, all right, I'm going to trust you.
Oh, yes.
I'm Matt Murdock.
Right.
And it's cool. I mean, if you feel like Ray's going to do the right thing.
Yeah, that's right. When that occurred, I was just sort of like, man, it's loose.
Yeah.
This whole secret identity thing. Not that I have a problem with
Here's the
them
idea.
breaking it, but it's a common thing with TV and movies that try to adapt superheroes with identities. Is that you end up, situations where, like, well, at this point, I'll take my mask off. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
but somehow they maintain their secret identity.
The idea of a secret identity, I don't know if you knew this, Paul, it's secret.
Oh, yes.
That's why it's in the title.
Sure.
And so, yeah,
Here's
I mean,
my identity.
so many people, you start counting the number of people that know his identity, and like,
Yes.
yikes.
Yes.
That's not secret at all. Karen gives speaking of people that know his secret identity.
Yes.
She talks about how, it's not the real Daredevil. She goes, the real Daredevil didn't attack the church.
Right.
Implied, because I know who the real Daredevil is. She's now set herself up as person who might know who the real Daredevil is.
It's logical, or at least it's a reasonable conclusion to come to. But if some guy always came up to me in a mask, and then some different guy came up in the same mask, I'd be like, wait a minute.
That's a different guy. I get it, but
that's all I'm saying.
All right. Right,
it's not necessarily, he's right, that's what you should do, is like, wait a minute, I'm getting that you know who Daredevil is. Because she does know who Daredevil is.
I found it interesting that she did not name Ben Poindexter. She didn't name Bullseye in this thing. She's like, somebody else has been doing it and it was horrible. And like, do you know the identity? Yes, I do.
Yeah. You think
like,
she'd do
what?
something immediately.
What?
Yeah.
It's like, are you worried about slandering the guy at this point? Like, look, I mean, I'd rather him not take me to court. So just two sources. I don't know. Anyway, it was just weird that she stopped there. Like,
lawsuits.
yes, I know who it is, and he's bad, and he's killing people in the city, and it's really bad. I'm not going to say his name though. Anyway. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm like, well,
that's probably though. Once he gets a taste of that law and what the law can do, he's like, well, this killing stuff has all been. This is what I prefer.
Yeah. Because before we got on there, we were talking about it's the Daredevil problem that a lot of hero shows and like Disney heroes as well have that problem of the show kind of wants to kill the villain at the end of the movie /series /episode, whatever.
Yes.
And yet, there's this thing of like, killing's wrong.
Yes.
And so you kind of have to manufacture a way for the villain to die. And so the idea of like, look, Daredevil, you can't kill this guy. But if in a situation. Maybe you turned your back and he was attacking you from behind and you just fought him off for a second and then you were standing on a cliff and he slipped off the cliff and then he fell down and then like lions got him. That's fine. Just don't kill him yourself. Maybe if you told someone to shoot him through a van, that's fine.
Well, it's interesting, actually, you think about it. Yes, there's often that, even in TV movies, that way that people can die without having the person commit murder. One famous example from Marvel Comics, actually, is Jean Grey, who, when she became Dark Phoenix, went out into the universe there and found a planet and caused the sun to explode, killing the planet that was in the planetary system, the solar system there. And because that was a decision that was made pretty much by the artist, like, oh, have her make the sun explode and have a bunch of people there that would die, the editor-in-chief said, wait a minute, she just killed a bunch of people.
She did.
She can't live at the end of that, so they had to kill the character. They had to draw the end of the comic so that she would die.
Okay, and then what, would he be reborn later or something
Later
else?
she was reborn. First they said it was somebody, they had a bunch of different things. Where first it wasn't her, really. They came up with it's really somebody else, some other creature that replaced her or whatever.
So once the hero commits genocide, then you're like, all right, scrap it. Next iteration.
But then I remembered also too, in a different note in terms of heroes that are it's okay if they kill. You remember in The Untouchables?
Yes. Oh, right, with Kevin Costner's character, throwing the guy off the roof.
Yes.
He's in the car. Well, I think part of that. And I love that script, by the way. That's a David Mamet script.
It is.
Really, really good.
He's crazy.
And we're in Chicago, and we walk by a lot of those sites all the time. Sure. Anyway, part of that whole thing was if you want to beat the villains, you have to kind of be like the villains.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of embraced that notion.
Yeah.
They put one of yours in the hospital, you put one of theirs in the morgue.
Yeah. It's interesting, actually, that both Frank Miller and David Mamet are kind of reactionary in a way, if I remember correctly.
I think that's true. Yeah. They don't seem to have that problem, the moral problem of kill a guy.
If they're criminals, just kill them.
Just kill them. So we are looking forward to watching the last episode, 13. We're gonna get to see. I do feel like we're gonna have Bullseye being turned against Kingpin. With this. I think Bullseye's going to find out that his girlfriend was killed off by Kingpin.
I think so.
Or maybe he's just mad because Vanessa's taking his spot. Maybe he tries to kill Vanessa. I don't know. And that would put him against Kingpin. Right.
I mean, that certainly would mirror, in a way, the an important story for Kingpin in Daredevil comics, wherein he had a side person, someone who was working for the Kingpin, and he felt like his Vanessa, or the Vanessa-like character, is making him soft. So he arranged for that woman to die, and then Kingpin finds out and kills his ass. It's really great. I really loved it because he's like, "You fucker," and he's just like this big guy where he's just killing.
You could easily. I mean, we were just saying, that notion of Vanessa making decisions that he didn't agree with. I mean that notion even kind of comes in even right there. The idea of if somebody from an outside, a third party like Bullseye is like, I want to do the right thing without telling you. Right. I want to get this painting even though you didn't want it.
Yeah.
Could make a decision like that. I don't know. That's for one episode. That seems like a lot for one episode. But anyway, there'll be. We don't think Daredevil's going to kill Kingpin.
Nope.
Any other predictions? What about Maggie?
Yeah, I'd be shocked if she makes it to the end of that. I mean, they obviously have to have a conversation because they haven't yet.
Yeah, right.
So they have to have some sort of conversation, and I feel like I'd be shocked if she makes it past the season.
Okay.
Unless they don't, unless they don't have that scene, in which case,
it would be very awkward if there's no reconciling moment.
Right.
Like that. Also, well. Maybe it's getting a little late for all these scenes now, but for Karen to reconcile with her dad, I feel like scene's probably coming too.
Or maybe that's for next season. I mean, geez.
Yeah. But there's a lot to potentially cram into this hour.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll find out.
We will.
And we'll be back to talk about it. Bye, everybody.
Bye.